This is Hannibal from the HannibalTV.com. SummerSlam took place yesterday from Cleveland Browns Stadium. Over 50,000 fans in attendance. There were large. I'm not saying taking anything away from that crowd. Even Triple H said it in his post SummerSlam press conference that Cleveland is not like a town that's known for having like massive stadium wrestling shows. I know Johnny Powers tried to do one there years ago in a stadium where they had three matches going on at once or something. That was back in the 70s. But like, it's not really known as. It's been a good wrestling city, but I'm just saying it wasn't actually. Not all the seats were used, but it was a hell of a good crowd. But you could definitely see from pictures that there was a bunch of sections that were not used. But they had a great crowd. Liv Morgan defeated Rhea Ripley with Dominic turning on Rhea Ripley, taking Liv Morgan's side. I watched a bunch of stuff from this show. I didn't watch the full show, but I did see that. I thought from the highlights I saw of this Liv Morgan Rhea Ripley match, very good. I don't know if it was shoot or not, but the one thing, and it's good they managed to trick me. Impressive if it wasn't just part of the show, where Rhea acted like her shoulder had popped out and she whacked it against the commentator's table and then seemed to lodge it back into place. I mean, if it was a work, she did it well. I couldn't tell if it was a work or not. And if it was a shoot, that's impressive. Braun Breaker defeated Sami Zayn to win the Intercontinental Championship. And it seems like Breaker's going to be a babyface moving forward. The only thing I don't like about Braun Breaker, how they've used him, I like him. I've said all along that he has the most upside of any new guy with the company, or newer guy. He's been around a while now in NXT. He could have been like a Goldberg monster destruction style guy. And in the highlights of this match, you see the much smaller and less physically imposing Sami Zayn doing suplexes to him and stuff. And it's like, with Goldberg, I'm not saying that Braun is not going to be over and is going to be like a big star no matter what. I'm just saying that when I see Sami Zayn flipping him around, it just, to me, you wouldn't have seen a guy Sami Zayn size flip Goldberg around. And Breaker's similar to Goldberg's size. So I just wish that they would have built Braun as more of an unstoppable monster. I don't like have that as a quicker Goldberg style match and throw another match in, since it was only 7 matches. To me, it's just, and they already had Sami Zayn beat him. I'm happy he's Intercontinental Champion. It'll build that title, but like, why is a big guy like that taking flips and stuff from Sami Zayn? I just don't get it. It just doesn't look believable to me. LA Knight defeated Logan Paul to become the new US champion. Logan Paul is a good wrestler. He's very good. I watched a bunch of highlights from this match, and I've met LA Knight. He's interviewed him in short clips and asked him questions before, back when he was in TNA. And I'm quite certain, I don't know if he was signed from it or not, but I'm pretty certain he was at a tryout with me once. But it was so long ago, I couldn't tell you for sure. But in all my experiences with him, he's a nice guy. I'm happy he's got the U.S. title. Obviously, they didn't want to give him the world title. But it's shocking that they had Logan Paul lose in his hometown. But great stuff in this match from what I saw. Nia Jax defeated Bayley. I don't know who was champion before, but Nia Jax is the new champion. I think it's funny now that The Rock is on the board of directors. Nobody says shit about Nia Jax. Everyone only puts her over, and she gets a big push. I'm not saying she doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying I just remember before The Rock was in power, she was even released at one point, and now she's back as, like, I guess you could say she's the top girl right now. Drew McIntyre defeated CM Punk. I watched a good amount of clips from this match. The one thing I don't understand is that Seth Rollins was the referee in this match, and just before McIntyre won, CM Punk delivered his finisher to Seth. And, like, he wasn't disqualified for it. Because then, a couple seconds later, Punk turned around and took Drew's finisher. But it's like, and then Seth woke up and hit the pin. But, like, shouldn't it be an immediate disqualification if you, like, if Hulk Hogan had just taken Earl Hebner, punched him, thrown him the rope, big boot, leg drop, would that not have been a disqualification to Hulk Hogan? But CM Punk could do it. I don't know. I just for some reason I just don't understand why he was allowed to do a finisher on a special guest referee and not disqualified. To me, that just didn't make sense. It kind of took me out of the finish to that one. It was bizarre. Gunther defeated Damian Priest, which I heard Triple H in the post-show press conference, which I watched. I did watch that, say that Damian Priest came out of this looking like a world champion. Came out of this run looking like a world champion. I don't think anyone looks at Damian Priest like a world champion. I think that people look at Cody Rhodes as the world champion, and that title is the world championship. I think they look at this secondary world champion title as nothing more than a secondary title. Finn Balor helped cost Damian Priest the victory there. So then again, so Gunther has this title now, and again, I wish they hadn't had Zayn beat Gunther, because it took some of the invincibility that Gunther had away, and took some of his star power away to me when he lost to Zayn. I honestly, this is just me being honest, and I have nothing against Gunther. I like his style. Like, he was hotter during his Intercontinental title record run than winning this. Like, to me, he seems to have cooled off a bit now. Could he get that steam back? Probably he can. The next show is in Berlin. But definitely Triple H saying he left this being thought of as a world champion. I don't think anyone, and I have nothing against Damian Priest at all, but I don't think he's world champion material. He's just not at the level of the top guys. Could he eventually be? Maybe. But Solo isn't either. Like, in that category, I'll say it again, it's Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, The Rock. Those are pretty much the 5 world champion caliber guys. Cody Rhodes defeated Solo Sikoa with the help of Roman Reigns. Here's the one thing that I don't like about today's wrestling. Jacob Fatu, by the way, interfered in this match and hurt his leg somehow diving onto a table. And he was seen after with a walking cast on his leg. Hopefully he'll be okay. And I guess that kind of they were supposed to be Solo and Jacob Fatu were supposed to be double teaming Cody at the point where Roman Reigns came out. Because at the point where Roman Reigns ended up coming out, it was only Solo and Cody. So it's not like he was saving a double team. But the thing I don't like is, why do they play his music? I know why they do it, because it's all about entrances and stuff these days. But like, to me, if somebody's interfering, how is the sound guy gonna know that the music's? It just takes me out of the believability that this isn't planned when the music hits and here comes the guy to save the day. Because it's like, if this was like spur of the moment, the music guy wouldn't know to play the music. And why does a guy interfering in a match get music? You're not supposed to interfere in matches. So anyway, I'm just saying, though, these are some of the things I don't like about modern wrestling. Why does interference get music? It makes no sense to me. But yeah, I'm not from the clips I saw. I mean, I'm glad I couldn't. I don't know if I'd want to watch the 4 hours of it, but I have nothing negative to say about the clips that I saw about it. As far as them going to a two-night SummerSlam next year, again, it waters it down. The other noteworthy thing that Triple H said at the press conference was John Cena will be back soon, towards the end of the year. And then next year he'll be at every major pay-per-view. Hopefully he won't get injured. And it will be his last time doing every single pay-per-view. He said he didn't have an exact timetable on when he's going to start, but it's going to be fairly soon. He also said Logan Paul was pretty banged up after his match. Hello, Alfred. Yes, Roman Reigns returned, and it looks like he's going to feud with Solo, and then again. So The Rock has been a heel, and now Roman Reigns is showing himself as a face. So obviously, we're still going to get that The Rock thing. Bill Tate. Eventually, you'll get all of those interviews. Yeah, a lot of titles change hand. Jack Kilby is doing an interview with David Young tomorrow at 5. The one I was supposed to do today with the blood sport guy that the movie was based off of, that will be delayed until next week too. Steve Mongo McMichael in the NFL Hall of Fame. Also, MJF wrestled at Arena Mexico Friday night, had 15,000 people. Again, he wasn't on Collision yesterday, to my knowledge. It's like, why are you sending? I mean, yeah, they did a good job. They did a good job at CMLL. He defended the title. He appeared. It's your partner. But why is he on CMLL and not your own Collision show when you have the competition to deal with SummerSlam? By the way, Dynamite is going to be head-to-head with NXT this Tuesday. So it'll be interesting to see. Someone forgot all about SummerSlam. It seems like it's earlier in the year this year. Mongo McMichael, NFL Hall of Fame. Yes, congratulations. Hello, William. Logan Paul, yeah, he's a great wrestler. It's interesting that he really elevated the U.S. title. He could, like, I would hate to have him have the secondary world title, but where does he go from the U.S. title? It'll be interesting. Because to me, fans like LA Knight, but he's not as celebrity and as worldwide known as Logan Paul. So it's an amazing for LA Knight to beat Logan Paul, but it's like, where's Logan Paul going to go now? Because he's already had a match with Cody, didn't he? Like, where does it'll be interesting to see where Logan Paul falls into the mix now. He's no longer U.S. champion. I can't see him getting another title shot anytime soon for the real world title. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Hello, Jamie Hissman. Someone's a fan of the Bloodline. Is Lesnar coming back? Probably not until his heat dies down. Night of screw jobs. Abdullah will never pay me. He's illegally sold properties to avoid paying me. He is a scumbag. All I can say is he's a scumbag for wrestling and cutting people, which luckily for me, I had it on tape, which led me to win the lawsuit. When he knew he had Hep C, you shouldn't be still bleeding on people and cutting yourself and sharing blades and stuff when you know you have Hep C. But the other thing is to like sneak out of paying even a single penny and then work the fans, acting like he was on death's door on like last Tuesday. Then Friday he's taking pictures in Charlotte looking like he's perfectly healthy after he's collected almost 20,000 total between the two GoFundMes he's had this year. He had an earlier one that got about 12,000. This one got about 8-ish thousand. So he's a real slime ball. Not to mention, from what I understand from his wife, I mean, she wants him out of this house that she owns, and he's just basically squatting in this house. So, yeah. He doesn't pay taxes. He doesn't pay rent. He just basically lives in this place. He gets Canada pension plan. He doesn't work. Well, he does work. He works. He worked the autograph session in Charlotte this year. But he isn't going to pay anyone. He's only going to take money from people. Jinder Mahal and Priest are not heavyweight championship material now. Jinder was a flop, but he made a lot of money. Yeah, Alfred. Like, how are we supposed to believe that none of this was planned when his music just hits? And to me, it's just like I like some believability to stuff. 6 title matches, not one household name. You know, Brian, Logan Paul. Actually, Logan Paul to people like to older people isn't a household name, but a lot of people. I think Logan Paul transcends wrestling. Roman Reigns does not transcend wrestling yet. To me, Roman Reigns is a big star in wrestling. I have all the respect in the world for him. But people that do not watch wrestling do not know who he is. Whereas like Hulk Hogan, John Cena, Brock Lesnar, people that don't know wrestling all know people like that. The Rock. Like for instance, my workout partner, 72, he's in excellent shape. Trust me, he's in amazing shape for a 72-year-old. He watches he used to watch wrestling. He could tell you The Undertaker. He could tell you Hogan, Macho Man. But I bet you anything, if I asked him if he knew who Roman Reigns is, he wouldn't know. Because Roman he hasn't starred in any movies to my knowledge yet. And he just hasn't made the crossover. Scott agrees with me about the music. Yes, David, this music is pretty bad. Adam Cole, these ankle injuries are bad. I tried to wrestle in Napanee for Great North Wrestling about a month ago, and after suffering a terrible ankle injury myself about 9 months ago, and I'll be honest with you, I was not happy with my performance. That's why I'm going to hold off for a while before I wrestle again. Ankle injuries are brutal to recover from. Where does Paul Heyman fit into all this? Well, didn't the Bloodline beat up Paul Heyman? So that must mean Paul Heyman will be back with probably Roman Reigns. Bruce, I pretty much ran down SummerSlam with me. Harry, sadly, well, happily for you, Harry, I don't think Cody's going to lose the title until The Rock beats him for it. Christopher, well, you can say what you want about Logan Paul. He's been highly successful. So I'm not going to hate on him. He's been highly successful. Extremely successful. Have a wonderful day to you. Betrayed by sin. Mr. Moon says Solo was doing great. Well, I don't think Roman Reigns is taking over the Bloodline. The Bloodline is a new... Roman Reigns will have a new version of the Bloodline. Probably one of the Usos might be involved. Who knows? I heard that Rikishi said... I forget which one is Rikishi's son. I don't know if they both are or not, but Rikishi... the one that says yeet or something, which I don't totally understand. Rikishi complained that he is not champion. I honestly don't know if either of the Usos are heavyweight championship material, to be honest with you. But yeah, they're supposed to be back soon. This is the Roman Reigns era. We're still in the Roman Reigns era, yeah. Stephanie McMahon, by the way, both of them are Rikishi's sons. Okay. Well, Rikishi was complaining that the one that's a baby face should be heavyweight champion because he says he's the most popular baby face in the company. And then he had to kind of backtrack on what Rikishi said because he didn't want to get heat from it. Someone likes the new version as the Bloodline. Yeet was a recycled hip-hop song, yeah. I don't follow hip-hop too closely. And on that note, Solo is also Rikishi's son, too. Wow. The Samoans have taken over WWE. 100%. All right, guys. Thank you for all your comments. If you haven't seen my interview with Greg Valentine, check it out. It was pretty good. Will the Uso brothers join Roman Reigns? I think at least one of them will. The one that says yeet probably will. He seems popular. Yeah, check out my interview with Greg Valentine. If you haven't already, it's pretty good. Tomorrow's a holiday here in Canada. So enjoy it if you're Canadian. Yeah, there will be another Valentine interview, and I'm working on others. And the Frank Dukes one, the guy from Bloodsport, that's going to happen next week. But I'm working on a lot of others, and I appreciate all you tuning in. Please